What's up, everyone? If you don't know who I am, my name is Syncweaver, and I do a bunch of Final Fantasy XIV stuff on YouTube. I'm putting this message right here, and you're going to see it about 4 times. I will be overanalyzing the tanks that are coming out in Shadowbringer. This is pre-release, so everything is subject to change. We don't know if it's going to be definite or not, but what I am going to do right now is overanalyze it now, and then after I get my hands on the tanks, I'll be making follow-up videos. But I do want to put this message in front of those videos that I recorded on stream. The mic was loud, and I was also talking with my viewers, so I do apologize for that, being very loud. I couldn't control the sound. I do hope you enjoy those videos. They are my thoughts. If you want to leave any kind of comments or explanations, or maybe I'm missing something, leave it in the comments below, and I'll be sure to get to them. I do want to know what you guys think about the new tanks and Shadowbringers. So, without further ado, enjoy the video. Alright, last tank to talk about. Gunbreaker. It's the last one for the day. And then I'm gonna go eat. And probably compile this into some sort of video. I'm gonna have to shrink everything. Holy shit. That, or maybe people want to watch an hour-long fucking video. I don't know. Okay, so we're looking at Keen Edge. Oh, shoot. So we looked at Keen Edge. No Mercy increases the damage dealt by 10%. Duration is 20 seconds. Now, that's basically a fight or flight ability. So, that being said, 10%? Really? Just 10%? Brutal Shell. Take note of all the abilities it has. Restores own HP, cure potency 150, creates a barrier which nullifies damage equaling HP restored. That comes later. Other than that, it would be I think it would just be the potency of 300. So once you get to like level freaking 80 with your Gunbreaker, you're looking at a tank who also can just equivalate and probably stand alongside a warrior's self-sustain. That's amazing. Camouflage. Increase parry rate by 50 while reducing damage taken by 10%. I'm a little iffy with that one. That's a little weird. That's a little weird right there. Parry is great and stuff, but I mean, that's only 10% damage reduction. I think the payoff is that it's 20 seconds. It's a 20-second duration, which is the reason why they gave us that. It's kind of weird. Delete parry. Demon Slice. Deliver an attack with a potency of 150 to all nearby enemies. So that's basically, if we're looking at Demon Slice, deliver to all nearby. Is that our circle? I think that's our Demon Slice. I think that's our circle move. So that should just be followed up with a certain move. Royal Guard, that's our tank stance. Lightning Shot, that's our shoot. While it says increases enmity, so increases hate, so it's still in there. Also saying, I hope you're doing awesome today. Thank you, Shaz. Danger Zone, which is the giant sword beam of light that goes up into the sky and comes down. It's 350 potency, which I believe this is a GCD, so it's a global cooldown. Or maybe it's not on GCD. I'm not really too sure. I'm not sure. Lionheart, I think it's literally called Danger Zone in 8. I think it's literally... I know there's a move called Lionheart in there, but I think Lionheart is... No, it's some Japanese name where he just goes freaking crazy, and so you have to press the trigger in order for him to do it in 8. Yeah, that's Blasting Zone. Yeah, I thought... Yeah, that's definitely Blasting Zone. So Danger Zone is Blasting... Oh... Wait, what you mean is the AoE is Blasting Zone. So we should see Blasting Zone. And Solid Barrel adds a cartridge, and I think that comes in later as well. So Solid Barrel is just base 400 potency, which is kind of weird. It just means that Gunbreaker is still lower in potency and damage. Burst Strike going to be what we're going to use with our cartridge, 450 potency. Cartridge Charge, which stores a maximum of 2 cartridges. So stores cartridges in powder keg after successfully completing a combo, so you can store up to 2. Upgrade, Danger Zone upgrades to Blasting Zone. So that makes sense. That makes sense though. Nebula, there's our damage reduction. I'm glad they have that, but still the parry, that 50 and that parry, if people use it right, that is a damage mitigation and it's 20 seconds. It's still just a little off for me. Demon Slaughter. So combo action of Demon Slice. Adds a cartridge to the powder gauge and it does 250 combo potency. Aurora. This is where things take a different turn. So I've read up on this. It is Cure 200 potency per tick. So grants healing over time effect of the target, 200 cure potency. So per tick it's 200. If you think about that, 18 seconds, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. Maybe we're looking between 18 and 1200 cure potency over time as a total. That's a lot. That's crazy. There's our invincibility, which reduces to 1 and renders you impervious to most attacks. It's a home gang and it's 8 seconds. So it's 8 seconds of a home gang. You're not frozen in place, but you yourself reduce yourself to 1 health, which is weird. Don't come in. Hold on a second, guys. Oh God. Okay. Okay. So we're back on this. Is the monk of the tanks. Pretty much, if we're looking at it right. Alright, so at level 52 is when Brutal Shell actually gets its abilities, which is, grants the effect of Brutal Shell after successful completing a combo. So that's when the shield and the healing comes in. Sonic Break is the damage over time, which 50 potency over 15 seconds, pretty alright. It's only 100 potency though. And Rough Divide. That's basically our gap closer. Gnashing Fang grants Ready to Rip. It does 400 potency, right? But it costs 1 cartridge. And then Savage Claw, which grants which you have to use Gnashing Fang. So it's like combo action, Gnashing Fang, Ready to Rip, Ready to Tear, Ready to Gouge. So this is what you're looking at. Gnashing Fang, you do that first, and it costs 1 cartridge, right? So you're Ready to Rip. So now you're doing this, right? It's weird because you use your cartridge for this, then you go into your Savage Claw combo, which gives you your Wicked Talon, which gives you, you're Ready to Gouge. But if it gets you Ready to Gouge, I think it goes into something else when it comes to Ready to Gouge. But basically, your Gnashing Claw, Savage Claw, and Wicked Talon is like a second. It's your second combo. That's what you're looking at here. You can't kill me, only I can kill me. I always envision that the Gunbreaker is like taking a knife and stabbing themselves. And they're so adamant of saying, you cannot kill me. that they stay alive until somebody heals them. It's hilarious. Bow shock. So bow shock is a 200 potency to all nearby enemies. So far, I think Gunbreaker is the only one that has an AoE damage over time, which that's pretty cool. And it's 90. Ooh, it's 90 potency for 15 seconds. That's pretty darn good. Heart of Light reduces damage taken by self and nearby party members. Again, why does everybody but the Dark Knight get like an AoE shield? Like I don't get it. It may only be 15 seconds, but that's damage. It reduces damage, not just magic damage. It reduces damage. I was so hoping for Dark Knight to get like a damage reduction in terms of a shield, but nope. Nope. Heart of Stone, reduce damage taken by a party member or self by 15 seconds. You know what? I don't know if I'm going to turn this into like a video where I'm talking about all the tanks. I'm probably going to separate them. I'm going to separate the videos and then just put them out. Reduces damage taken by a party member or self by 15 seconds. So a party member, so Heart of Stone. Oh my god. The potency for Gunbreaker in terms of damage is pretty low, comparable to Warrior and maybe even the Paladin, but its support is phenomenal. When target is a party member while under the effect of Brutal Shell, that effect is also granted to the target. So, wow. Heart of Stone? So you have to use Brutal Shell before. Make sure you have Brutal Shell's effect before you use Heart of Stone. So even though Gunbreaker's damage potency might actually be equivalent, if not just a little bit less than the Dark Knight, I don't know. Like I said, I think Warrior is still at the top for damage, and then Paladin just has better damage, even though it still supports overall. And Dark Knight is selfish, so they're going to be thinking more of themselves anyway. And if we can find a way to control Frey, they might be able to keep up with perhaps the Warrior. And this is the Dark Knight, but Gunbreaker looks, as it looks so far, Gunbreaker does not look like it has a high damage output comparable to the Warrior, maybe equivalent to the Paladin. Because what we're about to see next, though, continuation, that's what I thought, allows the firing of successive rounds for your gunblade. So, like, Gnashing Fang may be followed up by Jugular Rip. Savage Claw may be followed up by Abdomen Tear. And Wicked Talon may be followed up by Eye Gouge. Think about that for a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like, okay, let's get through this first. Fated Circle. Fated Circle is delivering... You're basically doing an AoE, 360 overall, but it uses a cartridge to do so. Bloodfest just adds cartridges to your gunblade. Blasting Zone... We got Blasting... Wait, what the heck? What was it called? Fated Circle was the AoE. And Blasting Zone is the bigger freaking sword thingy. So, ooh, 700 potency. Weird how Gunbreaker gets a 700 potency, Paladin gets an 800 potency, and Warrior gets a 900 potency, but Dark Knight gets nothing but 550 potency? Curious. I'm curious. Why is that? Plus, you can use Blasting Zone every 30 seconds. You kidding me, dude? Are you kidding me? Is Blasting Zone replaced? Improved Danger Zone becomes Blasting Zone. Okay, we're gonna figure out that Lionheart. We don't need Dark Knight anymore. What the heck? How is it that they keep doing this? How is it that when you have, you know, your face on the expansion, for the exception of Dragoon, which actually got a very good buff in Heaven's Word, how is it that Monk got a significant debuff in Stormblood, and Dark Knight seems like they're getting more of a, like, the end of a fucking broken down wagon? What? Okay, so Jugular Rip delivers an attack of 160 when you're ready to rip, Adamant Tear, and Eye Gouge. Now, the reason why I'm saying, while we're looking at all that, okay, let's go back, because we're going to go back to continuation. So at level, okay, follows up, yeah. So at level 70, you're going to get Jugular, Abdomen, and Eye Gouge. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The reason why I'm saying that is because with those 6, we're going to go all the way back to the beginning of this video. You already have Keen Edge, Brutal Shell, and what's our last thing? So Keen Edge, Brutal Shell, not Demon Slice, no. Not Lightning Shot, no. Definitely not that. Okay, there it is. Solid Barrel. So you get Solid Barrel, and it adds a cartridge. So you use that cartridge, right? For pretty much anything, but you use that cartridge for Gnashing Fang, which allows you to get, you know, like 6 more upon that. So if you think about that, that is 9 weapon skills you can combo off of one game. So you're going 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going 1, 2, 3. Then you start Gnashing Fang, and then because of the effect, and this is only at level 70, because of the effect of continuation, you're going to go Gnashing Fang, and then you can go Jugular Rip. You can go Gnashing Fang, Jugular Rip, Savage Claw, Abdomen Tear, and Wicked Talon to Eye Gouge. So you'll do that in continuation. That's literally a 9-hit combo. That's literally a 9-hit combo. The potency stacks up after that. The potency stacks up after that. But that's nuts. That is nuts. Especially if you're... There's Wicked Talon right there. Ah, but there's the thing. 33.63 recast time. And you can't do Wicked Talon or Savage Claw without Gnashing Fang. So you can only use Gnashing Fang within per sect of 33.63. So you can't spam it. So you can only use that combo once you get that cartridge from which you're able to do it. So it's not going to be like a constant thing where you can do the continuation combo. Okay, that evens it out a little bit. Still, though, I'm pretty upset that it just looks like Dark Knight is getting the boot. Like, their damage potency is so... It's so weird. It's so weird. I think it's possibly equivalent, if not... I think it's equivalent to Gunbreaker. I think Dark Knight's damage is equivalent to Gunbreaker, and it looks like Paladin's potency and damage just went up. It just went up. Like, in terms of damage scaling, I would see it as Warrior, barely over Paladin, if not is over Paladin, then Dark Knight, then Gunbreaker. And Gunbreaker knows what it wants to be. It's more support than it is damage. Oh! I don't know. But yeah, that's our rundown through all the tanks. That is our rundown through all the tanks. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like Dark Knight is still getting the shaft somewhere. Like, Dark Side gives you more damage upon your attacks, but we don't know the percentage. We don't know that in Dark Side, maybe we're not getting 550. Maybe we're not getting 550 per potency. Maybe we're getting something different in Dark Side. That's something to think about. Because if it's not 550 that we're landing all those 4 times, and perhaps it's 650 or 600, we don't know. We don't know. That's weird. That is weird. That's weird. So, that's it. I mean, I think we're done. The only thing left is to watch Larry Zer use Gunbreaker, which I already watched, of course. Of course I did. That's the longest video he has, unless it's Summoner.
Is a tank, but its rotation feels a lot like a DPS rotation. So I was sponsored by Square Enix to go check out the test build of Shadowbringers, so any footage you see here is subject to significant change.
Everyone is assuming that it's 10% increase in damage.
I'm a little upset about that, but you know, that's okay.
If it's 10% increase in damage, then that'd be okay.
Ready? I think it looks really cool. Anyway, let's hop in and see what it plays like. Gunbreaker's tank stance is called Royal Guard, and all it does is increase your enmity. If you're tanking, you turn it on. If you're not, you turn it off. Simple. Its ranged attack is called Lightning Shot, and this is what you would do to grab an enemy from range. This is it right here. You have 2 combos on
It's funny how you don't use the Gunblade as a gun.
1-2-3 combo, and then a cartridge combo. The cartridge combo uses a cartridge, and it's a 1-2-3, but it has an OGCD in between each of them that has its own 1-2-3. So you get a cartridge either from your regular combo or a cooldown. It's called Bloodfest. You can spend one of those cartridges to start the cartridge combo. After each attack in this combo, you use Continuation, which is an OGCD, and this changes after each hit of the combo.
So basically, if you guys were paying attention, so each time you did this, then there's a continuation up here, hit this, continuation up here, hit this, continuation up here. So basically what I said before.
OGCD, and this changes after each hit of the combo. So you hit 1, and then continuations 1, and then 2, continuations 2, and then 3, continuations 3. Also, activating the cartridge combo will not break your regular 1-2-3 combo, and you can actually finish the whole combo and still get back in time to finish your 1-2-3. So the cartridge combo can't be spammed, it has a cooldown, so instead you're going to be using those cartridges on Burst Strike, which is a 450 potency attack on the GCD. Or if you're using AoE, it's called Faded Circle, and this is 360 potency for AoE on the GCD. Other than those main combos, you got Blasting Zone, which is an off-global cooldown for 30 seconds, and it's 700 frickin' potency.
I know, it's right.
Very good. And then Gunbreaker has 2 dots on a tank. Bow Shock is an off-global cooldown AoE.
You could put 2 dots on the same person, can't you? That's weird.
That one is definitely good. The other one is called Sonic Break, and this is a single target dot totaling 350 potency, but it's a GCD. So I don't really see the use for this one as it is right now. It's too weak to justify using it. You're just wasting that GCD. So hopefully this is changed to either be a longer duration or a more potent dot, because as it is right now, you wouldn't use it. In Gunbreaker's job gauge, it says that this is supposed to give you a cartridge, but in this build that we were playing, it doesn't do that. So we're gonna have to wait and see what happens with this.
If it does, then it's worth using.
Into Demon Slaughter, and this also generates a cartridge for you, which you would be spending on Faded Circle since it's an AoE.
True.
And to tie all of this together, Gunbreaker has their own version of Fight or Flight. It's called No Mercy. It's a 10% damage up for 20 seconds. Now for Gunbreaker's mitigation. First, you've got Nebula. It's a 30% damage down with 2-minute cooldown. Camouflage is a 50% parry rate and 10% damage reduction for 20 seconds. This one is pretty weak. They got rid of all of the parry cooldowns on the other tanks, so I'm not sure why they decided to give Gunbreaker one.
Yeah, right?
It either gets buffed or just changed altogether. Aurora is a very unique tank ability. It's a regen equaling 1200 potency on a 60-second cooldown, and you could put it on anybody. This way I could put regen on myself when the white mage doesn't adjust. Now here's another unique one. The second attack in your regular
what's up, Sock?
combo called Brutal Shell, will actually heal you for 150 potency and give you a shield equal to the HP you restored. And then it interacts with Heart of Stone.
Dang, what the? Whoa, whoa, whoa,
by 15%
whoa.
on yourself or a party member. And the cool thing is, if you have Brutal Shell on you from your regular combo, it will be
Did you guys see that?
to the Heart of Stone's effect. That one is so interesting. I really like it. And then Heart of Light is a 15% damage mitigation for everybody for 15 seconds.
Again,
Very good. And
Dark Knight's
finally,
got the shaft.
Is called Superbolide. It's basically a home gang that lasts 2 more seconds and you can move with it on. But it's the same cooldown time as Hallowed Ground. I think this one's a little weak for having such a long cooldown.
Right.
If it were somewhere between Home Gangs and Hallowed Ground's cooldown timer, I think that would be a lot more fair. But it's still cool that they managed to find another way to still have a unique immunity. So in my opinion, Gunbreaker's mitigation is a little on the weaker side, but if some of the numbers of them were to change even a little bit, it would make a really big difference. Playstyle wise, I absolutely love it. It's probably my favorite tank rotation out of all of them.
It does have the most interesting tank rotation. Probably
DPS jobs. So this is definitely welcome in the tank role for me.
Probably because it has a lot of self-sustain.
To be able to play Gunbreaker.
Because it probably has a lot of self-sustain. That's probably the reason why has like really awkward mitigation. It still has the 30%, but it gives itself its own shield. Plus, every time it uses Brutal Shell at the higher levels, it heals itself. Plus, it has Aurora, which is a regen for itself. Plus, it can give himself, and the party another shield that's 15 more. So, it may be on the weaker side of mitigation. It still has the tank standard. However, it's probably the most fun to play. And I'm saying that as a Dark Knight main, the Gunbreaker probably is the most fun to play. It probably ranges its damage probably equivalent to Dark Knight. We don't know the numbers yet. And if Odin is spitballing here, or people are assuming, because what Odin's saying is that people are assuming 10% off of Dark Side, and if that 10% can go into all of the potency that the Dark Knight has currently, then I can say without a doubt that Dark Knight can pretty much catch up to the Paladin in terms of damage. So far, it looks like Paladin is doing a heaping a lot of. There's like a whole bunch of 550, like whole crap. Plus the spells, plus instant, plus 10% more. Shoo! Paladin is crazy. But if Dark Knight, because it needs so much MP, even though it can just get blood out the wazoo now. But the MP guzzling, so for blood, just to get blood, and you're using your blood and your dark side so that you can use it to use Blood Spiller, which you could probably do like every 5 seconds if you're using it right, if not every 8 or 10 seconds, and it can take 10 seconds just to get full bar of blood. I might be underestimating Dark Knight. Because we still don't have all the details with Darkside. Plus, Dark Arts has been pretty much nerfed. It's been pretty much nerfed. Plus, we don't know Frey's either his damage output. Hopefully, it's the same. And if we can control him kind of sort of in a way so that both you and Frey or your Shadow can do like Delirium and Blood Spiller all day. So hard. It's so hard. It's making it so hard. Like so far, Gunbreaker is going to be my guaranteed number 2 tank and job altogether. Frey has a rotation. I thought, from what Larry said, your Shadow it just attacks randomly. And we're talking about the guy who recorded it and put it up on screen for us. He said that it's random attacks. Can't control them as of the build. Okay. So it seems like, I mean, you can't control Frey. If he has a rotation, it's kind of weak. That'd be kind of weak. Through a set rotation as it is currently. Okay, let's hope that Square touches up on the tanks. Let's hope Yoshida touches up on all the tanks. Perhaps giving us some sort of control over Frey. And maybe I can see Dark Knight being a little better than what it is, because as of right now, even Gunbreaker looks like it's better for its purpose. I know it's not going to output as much damage as the Dark Knight, but the Dark Knight, being a guy with a big fucking sword, is not beating the Paladin in terms of damage, from what I can see. I'm just saying, that's what it looks like. Warrior seems like it's still going to be the top. Gunbreaker is going to be at the bottom with damage, and it's iffy between Paladin and Dark Knight. However, self-sustain between the Warrior and the Gunbreaker seems like they're sharing something. I think the Gunbreaker has better self-sustain, while the... Scratch that, Warrior still has better self-sustain because of Thrill of Battle. Thrill of Battle still has that, but I think the Gunbreaker can kind of keep up with that, and I think Warrior still has better self-sustain. Ugh, guys, ugh. Well, as I was recording all of that, you guys say bye to the video. Everybody put hands in the chat. Say bye to video. Say bye to recording, bye to video, because I was recording the whole time. Say everybody, I want to see some hands. I want to see some hands in chat. Hands. YouTube still has hands. Oh, but this is something, man. This is something. I don't know. There's a lot to think about. It just looks to me that in terms of ranking, it's probably going to be Paladin number 1, then Warrior, then Gunbreaker, then Dark Knight. That's what it looks like it's going to be. Because Dark Knight is still a selfish asshole with mitigations for itself. Gunbreaker has weaker mitigations, but it still thinks about the rest of the party and it can self-sustain. Paladin has overall higher potency potential and the best mitigation for everybody. And Warriors, though it doesn't have the best mitigation for everybody, still has Shake It Off, and it can still output the highest amount of TPS. Yeah, it's looking that way. Paladin looks like it's gonna be king. Yeah, it looks that way. Holy shit.